Yes. Woo! What's going on? What's going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Hopefully, you're enjoying your Sunday, and this is the last Lions Den of 2025. Isn't that something? Oh my goodness! Can you believe it? Hey, we made it. Okay, we made it. It's wild. It's wild. But for those of you, if this is your first time tuning in, y'all, what we talk about is all things leadership, growth, and development with the call to action from the household to out in the community. You dig? So if you can hit the share button, make sure you're letting individuals know that we're in the place to be. Hey, what's going on, Miss Lady? How you doing? Right on, right on. So listen, y'all. This isn't going to be a long show, right? This is a farewell, if you will, to 2025 and a hello to 2026. Okay, and shout out to Herm right now. He's out watching something. I think he at the movies or something, or at a show. Nevertheless, he couldn't be here with us today, but hey, I want him to enjoy his life just like y'all, right? So just want to go over a couple of things today. So like I said, if you can hit that share button, let people know that you are viewing one of the best podcasts on this side of the Mississippi. Can you dig it? And so we go get right into it, y'all. So like I said, it's crazy that this year is just about over. It was a long one, wasn't it? As a matter of fact, it was long in around January time frame, right? And it has not stopped, since then. But however, it doesn't matter, y'all. Look, if you are just tuning in, or a new listener, or a long time listener, I just want to let you know that you are appreciated. All right. But today we're going to take some time to talk about transitioning. All right. And transitions and what that actually looked like. And as you can tell, like my background, there's some transitions going on. Like, look at me holding a microphone. I can't dig it. I'm normally or whatever. But there's some, transitions going on in my life, has been for some time. And but that's nothing new, right? If you do focus or understand what growth and development is truly about, and leadership that's necessary. All right. So we know that there are a series of transitions no matter what we do. It's big or small, right? It can be a new career, you dig? It could be moving into a new city, into a new place, or, welcoming new family members, if you will, to your family, and even the smaller ones. Okay. So let's say a change in the dynamics of friendships, or, just changing your beliefs about something, right? Just small incremental changes or transitions. It happens. Okay. But this year for me, y'all, in this podcast, it's been defined by serious transition. And I mean, we've explored different types of territories together. All right. And if y'all can recall, just multiple shows that we've had, right? And still always trying to find our footing, right? Get our voice together, and growing throughout that to the point where we are today, right? This makes the going on the 7th year, y'all. As a matter of fact, 7th year, we're going into that. Okay. And real talk, we wouldn't have been able to do this without you, without your support, right? Without your love and emails, and just your commentary. And we do appreciate that. So I'm gonna take some time out and wrote some things down, or type some things out, as far as different shows that we've had back in just this year, right? We had a show about resiliency and psychology, which was super dope. And just understanding how fear is not as the necessarily the barrier, okay, as far as the things that we're going through, but it can be the compass that helps to move us forward. That was a super super dope show. And there's that was one of the episodes that really hit a good tone with us this year. But then check it out, I remember one of the shows. Let me see. It was this one in June. As a matter of fact, we talked about the messy middle. right? And so it's that uncomfortable or, the uncertainties of moving, or excuse me, that space between, where you are and where you're going, right? How that feels, what you actually do, about that. And, it was good that we got a lot of feedback from that, right? So a lot of messages about that episode, individuals going through their own messy middles, and if you will, and just saying, yo, we appreciate that. And the good thing that I like that we do, we connect uh, individuals that are on the show with the community and vice, right? Either it's business, either it's inspiration, or just other types of connectivity. We love that. Thank you. We do love that. And that's really what we're focused on, right? As far as that community and that growth, right? But then also too, we talked about within that messy metals that the times of isolation, okay, times of isolation, and just those struggles of navigating between being lonely and being alone, right? That's It's a lot of things going on, right? Not just in today's society, but even in our minds, right? And if you are a true believer that as a man or woman thinketh, so is he or she. So it's very, very important to realize that within that show how powerful that is, and that we have to lean on our sometimes we have to lean on the things that we have overcome as a reminder of how we are seriously dope, you dig, and that we can get it moving. So another one, yo, I remember this one time we had an officer on, I forget which officer. Man, I wish Herm was here because he'd know it off the top. But he talked about the stories of leading his team right through just overseas, right? And for those of you that don't know, I did some years in the military, 21 to be exact, and Herm had did two in the United States Air Force. And so it's sometimes it's easy for us to relate to these types of stories, but it's good to have individuals on to talk to us about what resilience actually means and when you're leading people. Okay. And so what he did was he spoke about the importance of having a clear mission. Okay, having a clear mission, trusting your team, and knowing when to adjust the course. So I want y'all to think about it. Think about how difficult it can be to uh, know what your heart is saying, but we become distracted by these squirrels, right, or these shiny little things, and then we go on to the next thing. And so it's one thing if you're doing that, by yourself, but it's another thing when you have a team of individuals that depend on you, or that's expecting you to uh, take them from point A to point B. So what that means is having that clear direction is imperative. So look, shout out to all of those shows, and y'all, it's so many, right? It's so many, but each of those conversations that we had within those moments were pieces of a larger puzzle. You understand? Pieces of a larger puzzle. And so they're all talking about transitions and transitioning. So about moving from one state to another, and not necessarily uh, from one side of the world to the other. Sometimes a lot of times it's one state of mind to another. So that brings us to the podcast itself, y'all. Woo, my goodness. Hey, check this out. This show started in the basement, okay, in the basement with me and a few friends, right? We got Larry, we had let me see, Aaron, homeboy Aaron, right? We had him there. We had Will, he was there. Even my brother, as a matter of fact, it was during the holidays, and we was just having some real dope conversations. And then someone was like, "Yo, you should just grab a microphone, so we can record these." I said, why not? Right. And then, of course, I'm a Detroit Lions fan, and we're in the basement. So, Lions Den, right? So, some people think that it was such a prophetic type of name, or, it's something dealing with the Bible and things of that nature. No, no, it's not it. It was just men having conversations together, right? And really focused on leadership, what it is to be a father, what it means to be a leader, or what it is to be a father for daughters. My goodness. Oh, it's a mess. But I tell you one thing, um, boy, help you be a better man, right? Helps you to be a better man. But anyway, we started from that and then we continue to grow. We continue to have deeper conversations. We continue to have conversations with other individuals. And y'all, I mean, just seriously, it has fascinated me as far as where we started to where we are now. But over the past year, with your support, y'all, for real, this transition is something more. Seriously, it's more. Um, it's becoming, like I said, a community. So outside of just the emails on social media, but your willingness to share your life with us, that means a lot. Okay, that means a whole lot. Even if it's a monologue like this or a dialogue, y'all was there. So it, like I said, it's fascinating. It's amazing to see where we are, today. And shout out again to every single person who's downloaded this, right? Who streamed, who shared, right? Who actually hit the share button. And by the way, it's free. You know that, right? I mean, like it's free to tell somebody, yo, I know a dope podcast. You dig? It is so free because it's outside of just getting a word out there. Outside of that, it's really about sharing something positive with people, right? There's so many other things out there that's so out of line, right? Where can you go to get something that is fruitful? Okay. And that would challenge your thought process, that would challenge your thinking. So as we're talking about the transitions, and like I said, look what's going on right now. This is a hell of a transition, right? From me being in the basement to now me being on the loft, right? But there's enough room. Look, I can shake and bake a little bit. I ain't hitting the wall, but outside of that, it's just a representation of what we represent, in the lion's den. So, and I mean, y'all, from thousands of individuals across the world, across the seas, it's just beautiful, right? Beautiful conversation. So it's a privilege and we don't take that for granted. So from the bottom of our heart, seriously, want to say thank you. Seriously, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Now, like I said, it's not going to be a long conversation, right? Because I'm really not 100% prepared, but it's been a minute. And so, yeah, couldn't go out the year like that. You know what I'm saying? And I got tired of seeing some repeats, and I know y'all have too. But me and Herm, we got some things going down in the down coming up, down the pipe. So as we wrap up this year, y'all, I want to leave y'all with some takeaways. Seriously, that's been on my mind for some time, but it's only fitting right now. So these three ideas to carry with you into 26, okay? For your own transition. So one of the things is embracing the end of a chapter. For those of y'all in the back, embracing the end of a chapter. So what I mean by that is that sometimes we focus so much on the new beginning that we forget uh, to properly honor the end. Right? Think about it, y'all. This is the first time that me and Herm has actually, acknowledged the work that we have done. And not only it's not for us, it's not for our own gratification, but it's seriously for you, but also having a place where individuals can be themselves. And so every transition involves letting go of something, but it's not a bad thing. Okay, it's not a bad thing. But things get old. You dig what I'm saying? Like you don't keep that milk in your refrigerator forever. You dig, right? So it expires. So I mean, look, even if it's a job, relationship, a version of yourself, right on. No matter what it is, instead of rushing past it, take a moment and acknowledge, what you're leaving behind. And it's not a cut off, so to speak. It's a remembrance of like, yo, I did that, or we did that, or look where look what we've accomplished together. Okay. So I want you to think about it. What did you learn in the process or in that transition? Okay. What did you gain? That's another thing. All right. And what are you grateful for in this transition? So closing the chapter with intentions truly allows you to walk into the next chapter with a certain level of honor instead of unnecessary baggage. You dig that? Yeah, because if you don't take the time to reflect on it, you will have feelings of regret or loss. So here's a way to, like I said, embrace the end of that chapter, right? And it gives you closure and prepares you for the next one, right? So speaking of that, the next chapter, if you're ready for it, something else I was thinking about is find your anchor in the storm. I don't know if you can hear right now, but the wind is kicking up. All right, they're talking about the storm later on tonight. But transitions like nature is some things sometimes is unstable, if that makes sense. So trying to find your ground can feel like everything is shifting between your feet or underneath your feet, if you will. But during these times, it is essential to find your anchor, whatever that is, ladies and gentlemen, whatever that is. Okay, meaning no matter where you go, keep your routine. All right, no matter what you do, keep your routine. No matter who you're talking to, right, make sure that those conversations are that it's an anchor. It's what you say. She says we should always let go of anything that doesn't serve us to make room for, to make room for what does. Absolutely. Shout out. Yes. So when we're talking about those anchors, I mean, even if it's your morning walk, right? Do that, right? And make sure that you keep a level of regularity, right? Or routine, a space where you can always reflect on what's going on, even if it's just a 10-minute, thought process or meditation, if y'all dig that. If it's prayer, if you got to go in your prayer closet, I don't care what it is. But no matter what you do, you want to make sure that you find your center or your true north, if that makes sense. So why all the world, why while everything around you is going crazy, how do you not lose yourself? Okay, so always find your anchor in the storm. And the last one is, check it out, look for opportunities. Right, look for the opportunities, not just the obstacle. Okay, not just the obstacle. For example, it's not easy, right? It's not easy with me. Look, holding this mic for this long, like my hands falling asleep. You dig? But it's an opportunity for me to do what? Have conversation with y'all. All right. Having conversation with new viewers. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out, Ronnie. I appreciate you. Having conversation or just continuing to do what brings life so I can give it away. Right. Instead of making excuses, I can't do this, I can't. No, 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 no. What's the opportunity? So that means even as you're going through whatever transition you're going through, instead of looking at the obvious as far as your heartache or your uphill battle, what can you identify in the midst of that as far as the opportunity? You get what I'm saying? What can you do? Because sometimes at the end, let's say for example, end of relationship can be an opportunity for deep self discovery, right? Like for example, it's a time to lock in. How can you lock in if you got somebody yapping in your face all the time? You dig? Or if you're transitioning from one horrible friendship and it's like, oh my God, I just felt like it was draining me, right? Y'all remember those spiritual vampires. So now when you finally decide to protect your neck, now what you gonna do with all that time? You get what I'm saying? Now you have that time, appreciate it. Yes, growth and strength. Now that you have that time, what are you going to do with it? Look at the opportunities. Now you don't got that food sucking on your neck. What are you going to do with that time? What are you going to do with that space? Okay, what are you going to do? So thing is, it's about holding on, it's about holding on to both the you know the time that you had and the time that you have, okay, at the same time. All right, now it is hard, it's not easy, but it is necessary. All right, because your perspective is one of the things that you can control. So choose to look at what? The opportunities and not the problems, because check it out, it's many problems out there. You dig what I'm saying? But choose one opportunity. So recap, Just briefly, look, we talked about what? Embrace the end of your chapter. Okay. And then you want to find your anchor in the storm and look for the opportunities, right? Not just the obstacles, right? And stop hating on yourself, right? Sometimes you have to give yourself grace and have compassion. Right, those are two different things, two different words. I ask you to look them up so you can know them, and instead of focusing on giving them to people, you can't give people something that you don't have, and or something that you don't even know the taste of. You dig? So but anyway, mm, whew, boy, just reflecting, right? So as we close this book on 2020 fever, all right, I'm filled with a sense of just gratitude, y'all, excitement, right? It's gonna be so dope, right? So this, like I said, this year has been full of transitions, and so it means that now we're positioned for what comes next. All right, opportunities, right on. So we're on the launching pad. So for the Lions Den 2026 is going to be about growth and exploration. So not just growth and development, but exploration. So we're going to be pushing to new territories. All right, get used to that. Get ready for it. Right, bringing on some guests who would challenge not only our thinking but also yours. If you're ready for it, you dig. So we're gonna talk about that. Right, we're gonna dive even deeper into topics that matters most to you. And look, we have all your notes, we have all your reviews, even your feedbacks. Hey, y'all should talk about this. Yo, get ready. All right. So we're building this foundation that we laid out for this year, this current year right now, and then we plan on building on to that. All right, from that in 2026. So I can't wait to share it with y'all. Y'all, it's going to be so dope. So we're not just continuing, we're expanding, if that makes sense. So listen, even when it comes down to our not just guests, but even our hosts, get ready for those, right? We're going to have opportunities for guest hosts, okay, and do some more rotating, right? And I'm sure we have individuals that's interested in that getting in the den. Trust me, it's a good time. It's their time. And yeah, for you, my hope is to the listeners right now, uh, my hope is that you look forward to what 2026 have to offer, right? With a similar sense of optimism, all right, not pessimism. Okay, so whatever transition that you might be facing right now, know that you have the strength. Okay, you have the strength and you have the resilience to navigate them. I want y'all to think about something. Y'all ever heard of the terminology post traumatic stress, right? Disorder, PTSD. So I want you to take this thought with you to have PTG. That's post traumatic growth. All right. Post traumatic growth, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now, it's not easy. It's not easy, but that means that you do have to look backwards and say, no, this ain't it. Meaning, I know I went through that, but I got some more to, I got some more to go. And I'm not going to use this as an excuse. So, like, even when you're in conversations with individuals, listen, they don't need to know all the things that you've went through, but what they will do is see how you carry and move forward. You get what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you tell people certain things that you've been through, they use it against you. All right. They kind of look at you like, yeah, no, no, he or she, look, you got some screws loose. You know what? Probably you too, but watch what I do with it. You get what I'm saying? So I think that is important. It's important to focus on where you want to be versus where you were. Now, you already, like, for example, I'm from Detroit. Y'all know that, right? And I go back and forth whenever it's necessary, but watch where I go. Okay. And watch where we go together. So, with that being said, you all are lions in your own den. So, I want to thank y'all for an incredible year for real. All right. Yes. 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 So, whatever you do for this countdown, be safe. You dig what I'm saying? Love each other. And I want to thank y'all for listening and engaging. See what I'm saying? And for being a part of this community. So we're looking forward to 2026 and all the growth and new opportunities that it will bring. So until then, We will see y'all later in the den. Right on. Take it easy.